G'day fair folk, RandomRobGames here and welcome to Assassin's Creed Valhalla Part 5. If you enjoyed this video, then consider a career at Google, starting from the bottom of YouTube and working your way up the corporate ladder, achieving ultimate feats of business, eventually with your face on Time magazine. Then threaten to shut the whole of YouTube down if they don't subscribe to the channel. So we start out at Grant where we call Wigmund an honor thief, which is about as dumb as calling someone a useful fork for eating soup, to which he retorts that he's a true lord by birth and we are nothing more than worthless heathens. While we distract the drunken fart in a bad tunic, we set a trap to blow the door of the fortress open. Once inside, we proceed to engage in aggressive diplomacy, opening a rather combative dialogue with the current residents of the town. After some time and forceful deliberation, the Raven clan managed to secure the once great town of Gravy Bridge and uncovered a treasonous plot. We then found some yellow paint in a tunnel underneath the longhouse, which is not just an easy way for enemy troops to raid a village, but it is also a building code violation that was not cleared with the local council and should mean that it must be caved in. After successfully transitioning to Viking Sherlock Holmes, we followed the yellow dot road and uncovered clues to determine that Galin, one of Soma's 3 advisors and members of her inner circle, was the one responsible for treason. How, you ask? It was the hallucinogenic visions that first raised my suspicion, but what really cemented the fact that he was guilty, that he had this creepy child porno stash. And quite frankly, you don't need to be any major crime detective to see that this bloke is dodgy as fuck. Your two main giveaways are his aforementioned child kidnapping facial hair and this awful balding top hair mop. These two show me that this is a man who would do anything to stay in control because everything else has clearly abandoned him. To unwind from all that brain work, we took a trip to the Viking Spa, which is to say that we pillaged multiple villages. I'm surprised that we didn't start suffering from hallucinations from all the burning thatch that we set alight, which I want to say is the reason why we can't even hit an ankle that is right in front of us, but we all know the real reason there, it's because of lag. The next raid location was rather spiritual and really forced us to take a look at the impact of religion on our lives. After much introspection and stabbing someone on the face with a dagger, we realized that we needed to invite more faith into our lives, and by that I mean we needed to raid a church. They weren't so keen, those nasty Christians, so we forced ourselves on them, and after some more aggressive diplomacy we realized that we needed to commandeer chests full of supplies from the oppressive Christians, before they just gave it out to everyone, which could do nothing but better the lives of the local population. We were actually relieving them of a materialistic burden, so if you think about it, we are the real heroes here. In a further effort to enhance the lives of the locals, we freed them of their mortal bondage, elevating them to the spirit realm, where they can enjoy the ultimate form of freedom, and so that we could feel less guilty about reappropriating their worldly possessions. Continuing with the discovery of England, we stumbled across the average den of Fortnite players. Dark, dingy, and probably hasn't been washed by their parents in a week, and displays burning effigies of their enemies with a cursed pole at the center, complete with the limbs of their heroes for them to praise. As with most of these dens, once you clear the burning ball in the center, the land around it immediately is relieved of its foul presence, and everything is immediately better. So bad is the psychological impact of these Fortnite dens that we were driven to madness, disemboweling the locals with their own swords, beheading them with their own axes, and impaling them with their own spears. These are just the early signs, and we don't actually know what the permanency of these side effects are yet, so please make sure to look after yourself in these trying times. After another successful liberation of a Christian monastery, we tracked down another member of the Order of the Ancients, an ancient group of elitist pricks who are basically just a band of Karens but with more secrets and less hair dye. He was trying to hide out in a corner of the same monastery we just raided moments ago, and I can't help but wonder if this man had any form of logical thought process. If someone is on my property burning things down and tearing things apart, my first thought is not to hole up in the upstairs bedroom. We proceeded to jump on him like a diabetic jumps on insulin after a day of binge eating sugar, stabbing and subsequently killing him. Who's the lord now, bitch? After exiting the Sniper Elite Assassin's Creed Edition stabbing cutscene, we were joined by Odin, who seemingly has nothing better to do than to jump into the post-death scenes of our victims. Wigus Mandius then blabs on about how it's not fair that he can't take his riches into death, why people mean nothing if they don't have wealth, and why he was always the real MVP because he was wealthy. Kind of like a Kardashian or Jeff Bezos when you cut off the last of their Hydra heads. This has certainly been a long and eventful episode for Ivy the Braided, so we head home to join in the Yule festivities, drinking, dancing and fighting, which is exactly what my home looks like at Christmas. Make sure to catch the next episode of Valhalla coming next week, and don't miss out as we carry on through Cyberpunk 2077 as well. How do you make sure you don't miss these? By hitting that like and subscribe button, and don't forget the bell icon as well. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.